Notts County Talk, player ratings for the quarter-final 3-1 win over Oxford City. The two halves couldn't have been any more different. The first half, Notts didn't have a shot on target. They were slow. They were not really at it at all. And Oxford, in fairness, it was a lucky goal with the ball coming off a Notts player and flying past Slocum, who had no chance. But all in all, really, really good second half performance, encouraging. Some players who I'll go on to in a minute. Seriously impressing. So let's get straight on to player ratings. So Slocum in goal, as I've said, nothing he could do about the shot that went in. I'm going to give him a 6.5. He made a few decent saves and made one first half where he got low down to his left and pushed it wide. Good to see him back in the team. I thought he would start today over Pilling just to get in that game again before we go back to the league game very soon. There's then Golden. He was okay. There's nothing really he could have done about the goal. We went off injured. From what we saw, he looked okay, but again, he has got an own goal against his name, so it's going to have to just be a 6, and it's not much to go off, but I thought he started quite brightly, and then attacking-wise, but defensively, not really too much there from him. Looking at then the other side, other fullback, we have Chickson. Now, actually, I was going to give him a 5. I thought it was pretty poor. The only reason I'm going to give him a 5.5 is because after Notts had made it 1-1, he did track back really well in a situation and actually stop them getting a goal. It was really a 2-on-1 with one of the other Notts players. I think it might have been O'Brien lagging behind. And Chickson actually chased back and did really well at that point. So I'm going to give him that little bit of a higher rating of a 5.5, but he didn't look confident. And I think that's part of I think he's got more ability than that, but I just think confidence is completely shot with him at the minute, and he didn't really have the best of games, to say the least. Going to the two centre-backs then, Lacey and Rawlinson. Turner obviously injured during the warm-up, which is for the game, and in came Rawlinson for him. I think they handled everything pretty well. I mean, the first half, nothing was really their fault. There was no error on their part. The goal wasn't their fault. It was what was happening in front of them that was causing a lot of problems with Oxford's attacking phases, but I'm going to give them both a 7 because first half they could quite easily have crumbled, and they didn't. They stayed strong. Second half didn't concede, and really, other than a free goal, you could basically say they would have earned a clean sheet. Other than that, just free goal, and they didn't have the experience of Reeves and Doyle in front of them today. Matty Wolfe, who I'll go on to in a minute, played, and Jim O'Brien. So that's the back four and the goalkeeper done. Moving on to those two midfielders then. So Jim O'Brien, he did do okay today. He was all over the pitch. He was doing more of a role of what Reeves and Doyle would have done, with Wolf playing a bit more advanced and getting a bit more of his creative attributes going. But I'm going to give O'Brien a 6.5. I thought it was okay. I thought his energy was good. I thought there were a few sloppy passes that stopped him getting higher. But I don't see Jim O'Brien now as a player that's ever going to be starting for Notts again in league games on a regular basis at all. I can maybe see the odd one, but he's been knocked out of that position. He plays out wide, and he came in today into his preferred position in the centre, and he didn't set it alight, did he? He's got no chemistry with Matty Wolfe, but just a 6.5 for me. Decent, full of energy. Always know what you're going to get with Jim, but a 6.5 performance from me. Now Wolfe. I've been dying to see him. He's been playing a little bit more recently, and I'm going to give him a 7. I think the only thing that let him down was his final ball in a few situations. He constantly got the spin in the middle of the park and drove forward. So anything lower than a 7 wouldn't be fair to him. He just looked sort of the player we knew he was going to be, making things happen in the odd chances in the first half where Notts didn't manage to actually create much. He did do a few turns that just completely opened the whole game up, and we can see the quality he's got. 7 for him. Now Miller, I thought Miller was really good today. Really energetic, quick, strong, skillful, good with the ball at his feet. He made a lot of opportunities. He drifted, which was hard for them to mark, especially second half. He looked really good, and I'm going to give him a 7.5. So far of the midfielders, sort of attacking place, he's got the highest. I'm then going to move on to Jimmy Knowles. So Jimmy Knowles, fantastic goal to finish the game off. Really, really good. Burst forward, showed real pace, didn't go down in the challenge at the end, which would have resulted in a red card and a Notts free kick, penalty, depending if it was just on the edge of the box. He just looks really good. I didn't actually know he could beat a man as well as he did today. I knew he could always do it, but their fullback on the left back Always had him every time. Skinned him, put the ball in. Couple of wrong decisions. I'm actually going to give him a 9 because he was fantastic second half and he made so much happen and got the goal that he deserved. So Jimmy Knowles, very, very good performance. I'm then going to go on to Palmer next. Not a lot I can say. I'm just going to give him a 6. You know, it's good for him to get minutes. So there's not much I can say. Missed a relatively easy chance first half when the shot from the edge of the box bounced forward and he just had to nod it past the keeper and panicked. I bet he couldn't believe what a good opportunity it was. But other than that, good to get him minutes, and you're not expecting fantastic performances from these players coming through the academy at this stage at all. It's just about getting them on the pitch in competitive games against, as Oxford were, a good side. And then Sam, I'm going to give him a 10. I've got to give him a 10 because that finish is, I've tweeted out, it's got to be a nomination for the Puskas Goal of the Season award because it's unbelievable. He's not only managed to do the scorpion kick, he's done it in the most awkward way. His back he's twisted away from goal. It's just unbelievable, and it's lobbed the keeper to go in. It's the perfect goal. Unbelievable. And the first goal, he's dragged Knowles back into the game with 2 very, very good goals. The first, he shows the other side of his game, where for a big player, the 2 goals he scored are really, really good. He's run straight at their defence. They were backing off, and he's put it in. The keeper might have thought he could have done better, but just for the second goal alone, it's going to be a 10 out of 10 performance, and he's got to show that more consistently. He's got to show that in the league. We've seen it a couple of times. He's got to keep that going. So that is my starting 11 player ratings. On to the subs then. We've got Dion Kelly-Evans, came on relatively early, and I thought he was good. He was a 7 out of 10. He was constantly trying to get forward and look for the overlap. He was strong in the tackle. It was a game that he was going to come into and always do well, so it's a 7. And the final player was Kai Wotton. Came on for me. I'm going to give him an 8. He really changed the game. He just gave Knowles that extra outlet. Holds the ball up so well, and you could see they were visibly scared of Knowles' top scorer as he came on. Their plan changed. They had to drop a little bit deeper to accommodate him. So, all in all, after a very, very, very poor first half, some fantastic ratings there, and Knowles now move into the semi-final of a competition where they could feasibly now draw a team of 1 or maybe 2, 3 divisions below them. Looks like Torquay have gone out to Woking as I'm filming this, so just positives. Hopefully we can see some fans at Wembley at some point, but we've got to get through a semi-final leg first, which I have full confidence in this group of players.